Double the feedback here. Get my mic open. I like to listen to some down-tempo shit while I'm charting. I think I got one more in me tonight, though. I got one more in me. Let's see. I wanted to take a look at RTY just because it's been bearish as heck. Great article by Larry Williams sent to my email. When small caps go, small caps are like a... I think the article was something like small caps are a lagging indicator to large cap stocks. And RTY has been bearish for a while now here. But it is moving with a yes. We do know that. But man, they are not optimistic. Commercial interest is not optimistic here. And we set a new low back here. I did not notice that. 63. Was it negative? 68. Yeah. We could put that new one in there. It's the lowest on the... Whew. It's the lowest on the 6-month index and the lowest on the 3-year index. That's very interesting. And lowest to the last 3 years. No, it was not the lowest in the 3-year index. Sorry, that was my mistake. All right, so now we got some balance numbers here. Now we can see what's going on. It's starting to pick up. They've been following the ES a little bit here. They've been following the S&P. They wanted to dump this, and I'm not convinced that it's not going to go the other way. So let's take a look at the RTY chart here. Let's look at the Russell. There's the RUT itself. Not quite getting over that high like the S&P is. So this is a nice bounce, but what did I do here? Clear drawing set. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that. So it did break the ETR range. We popped back up for the Russell index. This is obviously the stocks, not the futures. Well, let's take a look at RTY anyway. I do not want to buy. Stop doing that. I'll take a second to load here. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot the welcome. Almost forgot the welcome here. This is RTY. So we're going to look at the last week. Open high, low close. That's the title. That's the video title. That's what we're doing. This is Paramate Trades. So thanks for coming on board. And boy, I'm really getting annoyed with this. Every time. I didn't even back out of this. It's always... And I don't, I like my COT up top too. So we're supposed to be doing open high, low close, and we're going to get there in just a second. We got it right here? We got it right here. Okay, good. Yep. Sentiment high. Sentiment really high. Everybody's really high on it. Everybody's really euphoric. Comms holding a consistent bearish bias. We're a little oversold here. Sentiment's high. Same business, break ETR. But we bounce back up with the rest of the market. So let's take a look here. We'll do open high, low close for the last couple of weeks. So we gotta get our last week's high and low. Market's already open, so we're gonna have to look back here. Oh, look at that, huh? is last week's open, and that is last week's low. There's last week's close. Last week close. And that's last week high. No, we haven't gotten over that. Gonna break it. It's a hell of a pivot. That's a hell of a pivot right there. That's a nice fractal. We show patterns. Oh, there it is. What? What in God's name? Mother. Get out of there. Good God. I know you can turn it off here. I know. Where is the damn open interest thing? I'm going to show open interest, blah, blah, blah. Ah, the hell with it. There's our last week's open low. High and close. Here we go. It's last week. Oh, high. Let's take it again into our intraday time frame. We'll go 10 days. 15 minutes again. Just so we can get a good look here. And we gotta turn these off. They're great for higher time frames, but you start littering them on your lower time frames, and you're like, yep, that's a pivot. Yep, they're all there. So, last week's close. Where did we open here? We opened on Monday. This is our open, right? So we open right about here, right? Well, this is our open. No big surprise there. This is Monday's open. And I don't think we come down and revisit this very much. But I could be wrong. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a trade entry. All right. So we it looks like we're finding support here on last week's close, even though they dipped down. You know, here's your Monday close. We know what the S&P did this week. We don't even come down anywhere near this. There's the low, and off we go. So this is last week's high. We hit, we tried to gain support on it. I did for a short period of time. But they ended up losing it. Couldn't quite seal the deal. So, and this is not even, we're not even up towards their the high here, 1717. They're edging up there, but not quite there yet. So where could we have gotten in this trade? Where was there a nice pivot that made sense? Well, you could argue that one was pretty darn close. But how about on Monday? I guess you could argue that this is a short-term high right here. And we pivot down here. And then nice pivot though. Let's see if we can make sense out of this. We run the resistance there. Just a little dip and rip. And a nice pivot here. That seems to be respected in this area. We lose it, come back. Trade through it, come back up, test it, and away we go. But where was our buy signal on the Monday open? Maybe right in here? Where could we have said this is a short-term low? on this chart. We got one right here. We're going to pivot. We push off. A couple. I mean, these are not beautiful pivots, but they're there. Just like in the other charts that we've been looking at. Where was our buy opportunity on Monday? Do not trade through this low. We bounce off last week's close, and it looks like we're finding support here. So I mean, well, there's your buy opportunity, right? As soon as you break that, buying here. Here's a low. I mean, this is here's your low, a higher low on this side, and lower low on this side. I mean, this is gonna be your secondary confirmation that the that the low is in for the week, for the day at least. Well, we finish the day up. Yeah. So we start low and we finish high. Up day. We start low, we finish high as an up day. You say, oh, is this a low? I mean, you could have. Trade through, we come down, and we continue on. Is there another way we could have found entry in here? Oh, look at this box. Oh, look at this tiny little range over here. What's it doing? Probably made another entry right here. Add to your position. We finished up. We finished up for a third day on Wednesday. And we looked like we were going to have a down day, didn't we? But we finished high. So here's probable another trade entry. We got higher low on this side. Definite higher low on this side. That's a good one too. Trade right through this. Yeah. So here's this, doesn't look like much. But that's a pivot because why? Well, this is where we started to move down from this pivot. So that is a pivot. Came up, we took that out, found support on it, and away we went. So there's multiple entries on RTY this week. There's one. There's one. You break this. Once you clear out this high, if you weren't in the trade already, there's definitely an entry. And look at this, sentiment's up, huh? On the 15-minute chart, right? Even with sentiment down, price is moving up. That's a 15-minute chart. I haven't really dissected all that market sentiment has to offer on a 15-minute chart. Look good here, though. High market sentiment, bearish. And that's that. Well, hopefully we found at least some commonality here and some ways to trade, some opportunities to trade week to week based on on something very simple. This is last week's open, high, low, and close. We weren't anywhere near last week's low. Not even close. But we did find support here on last week's close. And then we went the other way. And took out this high. They took this one out. Market did take this high out. So this becomes a little interesting, right? Because we're lower. This high is lower than this high, right? And we trickle down here. Get another lower high. Maybe the top's in. Maybe the top's in. We've got to trade up through this, though. So looking forward, I mean, you don't have a position, right? So we opened up. Here's your Monday open. Here's your new Monday open, because we're starting a new week. So we'll have to do a. Let's just do it right here. All right, here's your Monday open. We'll just call it the new Monday open. I got your new Monday open here. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Is a low in? It's a short-term pivot. Low or higher low. Here's your low, and here's your other higher low on the other side. So do we have that? Whoop, there it is again. When addressing pivots. So when you trade through here, trade through this pivot, and do not trade through this pivot. Seems pretty simple. If you run this pivot, this is not your turn. This is not your short-term low here, like we saw over here. Trade above that pivot, find support on it, take it the other way. Trade above this pivot, find support. Probably gonna go the other way. We got to trade over this, so we know that the high is not in if they trade above that. So that's that. I mean, you might want to be a buyer here. Sentiment is down, or at least on the 15. So that, I mean, there's some nice confluence there. Sentiment is down pretty low. You think rally. Higher time frames look a little different. We'll have to open up your your 4-hour chart here and take a look. Take a look at the ranges. Find out where it's trying to find support here. Trying to find support on this top right here, in this range, this 4-hour range top. It's working, but we got to take out this high too. That's 717. So they got its own trouble. So let's look at let's look at fractals here. Let's see what we got. Now, this was nice, right? This is a nice 4-hour confirmation. Lower high, lower high. Here's your low, and here's your lower high. And we traded through it. We traded through that pivot. That's not your high. That's not your short-term high. And away we go. Find support and let her rip. Where are we? They're still bearish. Comms are still bearish here. BR is down a little bit, so it's looking, it's looking weak, looking like maybe it could take it the other way. We'll find out. Keep on your chart here, because it's, I'll watch ES too. Because if the S&P decides to have a couple of down days, I don't doubt that this is going to be impacted quite a bit more. I think people will hammer the Russell. And they're up. They're about $8. So the last we looked on MES, it was pushing. Okay, where are we? We're about 19. Oh, we're 19 minutes here, 1930s. We're down here. We're down here. All right. Cool. All right. Look for your entries. Look for your your higher lows on each side. See if you can find some short-term pivots to find yourself into this trade. And for the sake of RTY, just make sure you keep watching the S&P, because that starts to turn. That's where RTY is going to go to. All right, thanks for tuning in. Join our community if you'd like. We've got an open Discord, quasi-open. You can join and look at the content, read the content. There's obviously going to be a lot more in there too, along with the videos. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck, and hope you find yourself on the right side of the trade.